tiny by a huge computer, but in terms of real power. And they had to be rushed out at that time, but that couldn't be done by any other way at that time.
One Leo 3 in the museum in Edinburgh, at Leeds. But I mean, it's not a working Leo 3 because the cables, it's got no cables. It's more or less complete apart from the cable. Yes, I mean, Leo was kept going for a long time by the post office because the post office bought a lot of
Leo Computers, the company that Lyons spun off, actually manufactured at a factory in Minerva Road. He sold altogether something like 79 or 80 of them, which was never expected, and to some of the biggest companies in the country, like Ford and so on. We sold 7 huge machines to the post office, for example. I think they're all out of operation now. Lyons found that the labor cost of dealing with all the paperwork they had in the post-war period was going up too fast. So they sent a team of 2 quite brilliant people to explore what was happening in technology. And they heard about computers and went to the States and read about computers. And saw nothing exactly met their needs.
I joined Leo in 1961 as a trainee programmer, but Leo itself, as will be seen from the plaque, was developed by and ran operationally on November the 29th, 1951, 65 years ago today. So I was in the Leo 3 days. A lot of the other people, including Ralph and Frank, were there from Leo 1 days in the early 50s.
No, I mean, have the canvas
I
tilting
see,
in an angle behind.
You have a discussion with the board. Cadbury Hall was here onwards.
This was
Yeah.
Hall, wasn't it? He was my great uncle, Joseph Lyons. I came, yes, we saw it at the Science Museum.
Part of it. It's only part of it, though. Obviously, couldn't put all of it in, it was too big.
I was secretary of the society. But why I'm associated is that my father, who was called David Cameron, who actually wrote the programme for this first computer run.
Wow.
He was the world's first business software writer.
No, you had lots of little developments going on with it in Marconi and Elliott Automation and English Electric and Leo and so on, and they all came together. And eventually they merged with ICT to form ICL. English Electric Leo Marconi Computers Limited.
Well, Leo, which was the world's first commercial computer, was within a very short distance of here. It was within Cadbury Hall site of Joe Lyons, and we're going to be unveiling a commemorative plaque to it today. We've got Dame Stephanie Shirley who's going to unveil it. We've got a few local dignitaries here. And I worked on it in 1954.
Wow.
And I had no idea I was working on a piece of history at the time. No idea whatsoever. Yeah, I went in there because I took fancy to somebody who was already working in there. So I went in and I became what I would say now would be called a data processor, or data process entry clerk. Hi John.
Hi Don.
How are you?
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Nice to see you.
And you. Yeah.
Thanks to my wife is that we have a couple of the old Leo computer discs, the old computer reels, that we managed to track down on eBay a few years ago, which we've now got one for each of our children to pass on part of the family legacy in the years to come.
That's great. That's really nice. I hear there's one up in Edinburgh.
Oh, is there?
Leo, yeah, apparently. Yeah.
It's still going strong.
No.
I'm John Daines, and I joined Leo Computers in 1961 to work in Hartree House as an operator on the Leo 25 Bureau. And the only job in the Observer that weekend that didn't want a degree was Leo Computers wanting operators. So I went for an interview and persuaded them, no, really, I didn't want to go to university, I wanted to work. And it took off from there, and I found something that just grabbed me for the rest of my career.
So I work at the Science Museum just up the road in South Kensington, and we have parts from the original Leo 1 computer as well as subsequent Leo computers within our collection. And I was the content developer on our new Information Age gallery, which displays the story of the Leo 1 computer. And in the case of Leo 1, we only have a small number of parts remaining.
What a lovely day we have.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry about my hair.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, Steve. How are you? See you again.
It's really great. I think this event is lovely.
I'm on the Society's committee. I worked with Leo 3s, so I wasn't there in the pioneering days, but I was an engineer, site engineer, in the 60s.
I'm Ben Coleman. I'm a councillor in Hammersmith and Fulham. I'm a cabinet member, and part of my responsibility is involved in supporting and promoting small business and making this the best place we have to do business in Europe, to welcome you to what can only be described as a hallowed spot. Today, however, is a day for celebrating the fact that we don't just have a plaque celebrating Joseph Lyons down the road, but we now have a plaque celebrating the extraordinary work that the Lyons computer represents. We're going to be unveiling the plaque, I think, in a minute, and I'm very honoured to riff this little introduction to you all, and have the opportunity to be here today. Thank you very much on behalf of the borough.
Thank you.
So I'd particularly like to thank Mike Tyzak, whose idea it was in the first place to put this plaque here. And I'd like to thank Tony Morgan, another Leo committee member, who actually gave us a very generous donation. I hope you enjoy the food and tea and coffee and drink. So we'll have a toast when we get to the pub, which Tony Morgan will do. And I'll now pass you on to Frank Land.
Exactly 65 years ago, in November 1951, the very first business application in the world was launched on Leo 1. And now I want to introduce Dame Stephanie Shirley, her company F International, using exclusively at first women to do that. So please, over to Dame Shirley.
We're here at the invitation of the Leo Computers Society, and the occasion really is a happy one to inaugurate this permanent record to commemorate the Lyons Electronic Office Leos 1, 2 and 3, which did its first operational run at Cadbury Hall on the 29th of November 1951. And Joe Lyons, as it was affectionately known, was a household name for their corner houses and tea shops with nippy waitresses serving 150 million meals a year. Joe Lyons manufactured some 40,000 items in grocery stores worldwide, everything from Lyons tea to cakes, apparently 36 miles of Swiss rolls every week. As the company grew and developed, 30,000 staff were engaged. Its top management realized that they were going to drown in paper, and they'd always been interested in new office management techniques, and so aiming to better organize the distribution of cakes and bread. This catering company made the momentous decision to design, manufacture and sell their own digital computer. And the annual Leo Award for Lifetime Exceptional Achievement in Information Systems is funded by Fujitsu and was of course received by Frank in 2003.
Good, all over to him. Tap here. Thank you.
Analyse the fact content
And then you had to incorporate. We used to go to
Well, Paul Goodacre, his boss had to take over. And
okay, I'm listening to you. Judy married Victor.
Is that right?
Yes. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 generations of the Lyons family. So Michael Lyons
So I've certainly
married
got all...
Leah Hart.
Yes.
Michael Lyons' children.
You're being filmed now. You've got to go bottoms up to the camera. It's a bit done on its own, isn't it?
So Eater is him.
I sent you photos of pencil identical until work out the only thing I said I can remember.
Down a couple of computer reels.
With Leo, unfortunately, people can make devices that might read to see what's on them.
We've kept these and we'll give it down to the kids.
We were so we would have JCL, sort of statements.
But driving the JCL, sitting on the hardware would have been something like OS 360 or MVS.
No problem.
Dave Lyons' wife, Judy's got 2
The committee have put a huge amount of work into getting this event together in one way or another, and I'd like you to, well, you can probably hear them, give them a round of applause for it. Leo has this huge place in information technology. It set a lot of the standards around the world. I personally installed the first Leo 3 in the world in South Africa in 1962, and I think it's now the time to raise your glasses to Leo and the pioneers.
Yeah, they did. Solid gold. Too many of us dying off.
Thank you so much, Larry. Yes.
Thank you for asking. Thanks.
It's been really, really enjoyable. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.